Well guys, welcome back to the Midwest Whitetail Great Plains Show. I just want to take a second, talk about my season and kind of run you guys through it. Coming out of last year, I was really riding high after the chase for Deuce. Had a really awesome season chasing him. That was the first time I really targeted one specific buck and I was able to get it done. So with that said, I was excited for the 2023 season. Had some good deer that I thought would be here for this year, and started working really hard throughout the spring, looking for their sheds, frost seeding clover, planting food plots, scouting, whatever it may have been. I was really looking forward to the coming season. Throughout the summer, we had been hanging cameras trying to find a lot of these bucks back, and unfortunately didn't have a ton of luck finding back the bucks we thought were going to be back for this season. So that kind of left my dad and I scrambling to find some different bucks to chase, and that really left us kind of scrambling as we inched toward opening day of season. So as we got into the first part of the season and into October, we still were really struggling to find good bucks to chase. I'd really decided with the few of shooters we had on camera, I was really going to try to spend a lot of time hunting with Dad, especially in October. I hadn't hunted with him a ton since I was going to hunt youth season, so I really wanted to hunt with Dad since we didn't have a bunch of bucks for both of us to chase at the same time. And that was really fun. Me and him had some really good encounters, some really fun hunts in the tree together, and I just loved getting to spend some time in the tree with him. So with having little to no shooters on camera, we had a few, but none that I was really hunting. I was kind of letting my dad kind of hunt them. I decided that I was going to set out in the middle of October to try to find a new permission piece, and as luck would have it, I was able to land a new 10-acre permission piece right in the area where I've hunted in the past. I knew it was a good area. I just kind of needed another piece of the puzzle in that area. I felt like I was kind of just outside of the action and wanted to get a little bit more deep into where I thought a lot of the deer movement was in that area. And that would kind of lead me into the later half of the month. On the 30th of October, I made my first sit, had a pretty good hunt, was super excited to finally get in there. But the next night was the night that I really knew that 10-acre piece was going to be special. Well, I'm just getting set up for round 3 in the same tree I've sat the past 3 sits. Beautiful night to be in the stand, Halloween night. Hopefully a good tree, no tricks, but you never know. So Big 9 is the one I'm after in particular, but this area is known to have a lot of good bucks in it, so anything could show up at any time.
best hunts ever. I've seen 3 studs. One of them being the 9-point, the original 9 that we've been getting in here on camera. Just got a little snippet of him. I don't think you can really see him in the footage. And we had that broken deer on camera as well. He is a stud. He's gonna be an awesome deer to hunt next year. He's got that one side all broke up. Just so, that's one of the best encounters I've had. Just, it's crazy. Just bolted right to the tree. I don't know what it was. Just awesome. That's got me so fired up, man.
So following that hunt, I knew that 10-acre piece was gonna be really good. I would hunt it what I could over the next week, when the wind was right, when it was wrong, I was hunting other pieces. But on November the 12th, I got a picture of the big 9 in the morning going into the north bedding area. And typically when he'd done that in the past, he'd come back out in the evening.
Well, good afternoon. It's November the 12th today, and this has been one of my favorite days to hunt for a while now. 7 years ago today, shot my first buck while self-filming, so that's pretty cool with my mom, using my mom's old handheld camcorder. But ever since then, November the 12th has been one of my favorite days. So we're gonna give it a shot here this afternoon. The good 9-point, he has been in camera here a ton, and he was here this morning. On the other camera I have on this 10-acre piece, but he was in the northeast corner, so he was headed north back into the doe bedding area. So I'm hoping he does something similar to what he did this past week. He came by this camera here at this crossing in the morning and came back out in the evening right here at 15 yards. So hopefully history will repeat itself, and he can do that again tonight. We're gonna sit in here and find out. We'll see what happens. Well, as you guys just saw, pure madness just broke out. That was crazy. I've never had any experience like that. I saw the big 9, the deer I'm in here after, out in the bean field. Let him kind of get past where he was kind of behind a bunch of brush where he couldn't see in here real well. And I gave him some grunts, waited a little bit, and it was crazy. I could just hear bucks coming from everywhere. There's bucks coming from behind me. I mean, just basically from every direction. He took a little bit longer than the first 3 bucks to get in here, but I was all wound, just not in the right position to film. About got picked off. These bucks came in and they were at 15 yards right here. That was just craziness. And I'm really lucky I got just a little bit of north in my wind, or else he would have, you could tell he could kind of smell something, but he couldn't wind me. And then he caught, there was some other deer chasing off in the woods over there, and he went and chased over there. But man, what an encounter. Well, to my surprise, he ended up coming back. He actually walked right by my other stand, which with all the events that occurred with me sitting here, he wouldn't have walked by there naturally tonight. But man, just craziness. I'm gonna leave the stuff in the tree. Gonna be right back in here tomorrow morning. Awesome hunt. Finally had a good encounter with a shooter, so we're gonna keep after him. Well, good morning. It is the morning of November 13th today. And I sat this stand last night and had an incredible hunt already right off the bat. It was probably 5 to 10 minutes before shooting light. Had a buck come in through the dark, heard him grunt a couple times, and he came right here point blank at 10 yards. So it's probably the big 9, but hopefully this morning we can lay eyes on him again. Deer should definitely be on their feet, so we'll see what happens. Well, just got confirmation from the other camera. It was him that came by in the dark. Gosh dang it. He came by literally 5 minutes before shooting light. I'm surprised I couldn't see well enough to know it was him, but yeah, right here 10 yards at about 6:25. And shooting light is at 6:33, so crazy. Well, we're just breaking daylight here on the morning of November the 15th. Been after the big 9. I've switched stands while I've sat the past several times. I'm back to the original stand. I sat on this 10 acres. He's been going by here, honestly, probably more regularly than the creek crossing. So he was on camera last night at about 11 o'clock, right in front of the stand right here, headed north. So hopefully he looped back around to the south, and we'll do the same thing this morning. He literally came from directly downwind. Like, I don't understand why he would come from where he came from, but he doesn't have a doe. I'm gonna let him work off a little ways and give him a rattle. Hopefully he'll come back. Well, good morning. Just getting everything ready to go this morning. I've already had a buck go by right at 15 yards, so we're off to a good start. Also could hear a buck grunt in the direction he went, so hopefully that's the big 9. And hopefully we can get him to go by. I'm sitting in this stand, the original stand I hung on this new 10-acre piece that I've got this year. And a couple days ago, I sat here, I had the big 9 at 40 yards, so hopefully he'll come through this morning. Gonna sit in here and see what happens. And hopefully we can get a mature buck to go right through this funnel at 15 yards. Well, there he is, encounter number 4 with that buck. Good to see him, good to know he's in the area. He literally ran her right by the other stand. Crazy that I don't know, just didn't pick the right one, I guess. I liked the wind to sit in this stand longer today once it picks up speed, but I definitely could have gotten away in that other tree for a while this morning, but hard to guess which one he's gonna go by, so. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap things up this morning. Super good hunt. I believe I saw 8 to 10 bucks and 8 to 10 does. Out of the bucks, the 2 mature bucks, the big 9 and this tight rack deer, both of them had hot does, which was interesting to see. All the younger bucks were searching super hard, but both these older mature deer had a hot doe. But yeah, super good hunt. It's fun to be able to have all these encounters on the same 10-acre piece. I think it's just a matter of time before I can catch up with that big 9. He's so consistent in here. I think his core area is very small, and hopefully we can just get him to go by one of these stands here eventually. I think I'm in the right spot. I think I'm in the pinch points and the major trails, so just got to put in the time, and hopefully we can get him to go by here eventually. Well, just getting set up for the evening sit. I'm sitting the same stand I sat this morning after the big 9. Super slow hunt this morning, but that rain was kind of lingering, and I'm guessing they kind of bedded up when that started going on and never really got back up. So I'm hopeful for tonight and especially tomorrow. It's been an interesting chase for this buck. You know, I mentioned in the past that I can hunt several different pieces right in this area, but I've really only had one set of pictures of him on anywhere except here. He's on this 10 acres super consistently, and I think his core area is just super small. I don't think he leaves this area very often. He was here twice out of the past several nights, just a little bit after shooting light. Both those nights it wasn't ideal weather for them to be moving, so I'm hopeful that tonight, with this rain finally gone that we've had the past several days, and some better weather coming tonight and tomorrow, that he'll be on his feet tonight. I'm hopeful that tonight or tomorrow I can get it done. I think he's going to be in the area, and hopefully it's just a matter of him looking for a doe coming by one of these 2 stands. So gonna stick after him, and maybe we'll get lucky and get it on the ground tonight. We'll see. Well guys, that one's gonna hurt for a while. I look up and he's over here to my south, which I've got a west wind, and he was heading to my east, which I knew was possible in this stand. I just never seen a deer come from that way and do that. Sure enough, he did. He could smell something. He didn't spook really bad. He could tell something wasn't right, but he didn't spook. Walked right by the other tree. So frustrating, but man, I don't know. The drama with this deer, it's crazy. 10 acres and I can't get him to go by the tree that I need him to go by. Insane. Hopefully he'll loop back through.
So as you can see, I had a lot of really good hunts throughout the middle part of the month, had some really good rut action. after 6 encounters with the big 9, you know, is kind of rolling into the last 10 days of November. And unfortunately, I didn't have a ton of winds in the forecast to hunt the 10-acre piece. So I kind of spent some time, you know, bouncing around to some other pieces, having some good encounters. But in the back of my mind, I really knew that I wanted to be hunting the new 10-acre piece. So looking forward at the forecast, November 26th had a wind change, had a big snowstorm coming through. I had really decided, you know, there was 3 days of good winds in a row. I was going to sit there every single day, morning and evening, to hopefully finally get a good up-close encounter with the big 9 and hopefully get an arrow in him. On the 26th, I hunted that morning, that evening. Didn't have great hunts. I saw a couple deer, but not the action I was hoping for with the conditions we had. Hunted the morning of the 27th, had some pretty good action, but not near as good as I would have on the evening of November 27th. Well, here we go, round number, who knows how many at this point after the kitty buck. Sitting the same pinch that I've been sitting over the past couple days. Haven't had a ton of action here lately, not yesterday, but the day before. He was in here 3 different times throughout the day, but I'm wondering if what's going on here is if there isn't a hot doe that's got a bunch of the bucks on her, or a couple of them, or what's going on, but I just haven't seen a ton of different bucks like I usually do when I'm sitting here, and I think that's kind of unusual. I think this is where a lot of the bucks bed, so hopefully that'll change tonight. I think the deer should really be on their feet. A lot of this snow is melting off today. Definitely not all of it, but it's a lot easier for them to trudge through. At least I'd say probably half of it is melted. So it's about 38 degrees and a light west wind, which is perfect for this spot. So hopefully we'll get lucky and he'll either follow a doe through or come looking for one, or just go through naturally on his way to feed tonight. So we'll sit in here and find out. I'm starting to think about hunting some other bucks. He hasn't been real consistent. You know, he's been here in daylight several times, but I think a lot of that was rut action. I don't know how consistent he's going to be once the rut really slows down, but still going to keep hunting him if he's showing up. So we're in here tonight, and hopefully we'll get lucky and he'll go by. What a chase for that deer. Oh my goodness. I think that's my 7th encounter. I haven't been having very good hunts in here and just been getting frustrated, and it's getting towards the end of the rut, and oh my gosh, what a season. Again, this might be better than the Deuce chase last year. Been so close so many times. Oh man, I'm shaking so bad. Well, I got my helpers with me, and he was standing about right here. The stand's right there, and the arrow's right down here. So went back and watched the footage, and I'm pretty sure we could see him go down. So we're gonna get on the blood from where he went down. I'm not entirely sure where that's at, but hopefully we can follow blood in the snow, which hopefully is pretty easy, and go right to him. I think he's right there. Oh, what a deer. Oh my gosh. He's bigger than I thought he was. Well guys, thanks for following along through the hunt for this buck. Man, what a season it's been. So many encounters, just a really, really fun season chasing this big old 9-point on 10 acres. But that was really exciting. Really a big part to my season was landing that 10-acre piece early in October. Little did I know I'd be spending most of my season there hunting after this buck, but I think that was part of what I had so much fun doing this year, was hunting a new piece, learning a new piece. This buck taught me a lot about not trying to make knee-jerk decisions and move based on seeing a buck do something one time, and really just staying focused and hunting on where the majority of your deer are walking, you know. I'd move that stand to the West Creek crossing early on in the season, early on after I watched Kirk walk through it. And that's really where I would make my mistake about jumping back and forth between stands. You know, I think what I learned this season was to really not make that knee-jerk decision and hunt where you know the deer are going. You know, I would sit one stand and he'd go by the other. So that's one thing I really learned about this season. Another thing I learned is, you know, to really go out and don't be afraid to look for new pieces. You know, I made a really good friendship with the landowner. I think she'll be happy to have me back in the future. You know, I just make sure to stop in and talk to her when I get the chance, and send her a text message, you know, on Thanksgiving Day, tell her happy Thanksgiving, things like that, you know. Just really make a friendship with the landowner. Don't be standoffish. I think that goes a long ways, just to, you know, create that friendship and that way you'll be welcome back and, you know, really have a lifelong friend there. But yeah, just a really awesome season. I'm super excited. You know, the hunt last night played out to perfection. After 7 encounters, I was finally able to put an arrow in him. Really, my hunt played out last night about perfectly. If I wouldn't have grunted at that younger buck early on in the hunt, which unfortunately I didn't get that on camera, you know, and here he would come over the ridge, and about 20 minutes later, you know, I'm looking back in the same direction, and I can see the big 9, the kitty buck. That younger buck had kind of picked me off and kind of went to go downwind, so that made this buck do the same thing, try to follow him in that direction. And he was 1/4-2, and I was gonna draw and take the best shot I could get. And he was only at 15 yards, so of course he's gonna see you draw when he's 1/4-2 right in the middle of your lane. But I got lucky, he didn't spook too terribly, and I was able to put an arrow into him quartering away, and he didn't go very far at all. So just really fun past 2 years of bow hunting. You know, I've really targeted one deer both years, and I've been able to put that one deer down. That's something I haven't been able to do in the past. I would hunt all season after one buck and wouldn't get him and get discouraged, you know, and I'd go hunt somewhere else and shoot another deer. But I think I'm learning, you know, if you really stay after it and really try to learn what a buck's pattern is and really focus and hunt it when the wind's right, when the conditions are right, you can really make that pay off in the long run, you know, really trying to figure out one deer instead of at the end of the season, you know, go and hunt another one. Never give up, you know, stay after them all season long, and you never know, it might just pay off in a big way like it did for me last night. But awesome season. You know, the team's had an awesome year. All the guys have been putting down really good deer, and man, what a season it's been for the Midwest Whitetail team. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the story.